I mean, I don't know if he's in line to replace him. This playoffs, what we do in this playoffs. And I just still believe that Kevin Durant and Steph Curry going to have something to say about this. Like, all of a sudden, we have this conversation. Who's going to be the image of the league going forward? Like, we don't include Steph in KD. Man, KD goes to New York. Man, they get a little Kyrie. Man, they get the excitement back in the Garden. Oh, KD going to be up for the conversation because he could be going for 30 a night the way Harden has been doing. And we know Steph is going to be part of the conversation. He's adorable. He's got the type of game, man, that people love. He's got that look. Man, he is the face of that franchise, multiple championships. He's going to be in the running. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Giannis is the next heir apparent to what LeBron has been to the NBA.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion, even though this is the guy that I've been pegging as the next best player in the league for a few years. I think next year's going to be so intriguing in this regard because C's point that if LeBron's not in the playoffs to defend his title, someone's going to, at the end of these playoffs, at least temporarily take it. And then assuming KD leaves, to me there's 5 guys next year that will be in the running for it. LeBron will be in the running to take it back. Giannis, who you mentioned, KD on his own team, Steph on his own team, and James Harden. James Harden, it might never be the face of the league, but when we're talking about the best player, what Harden does in this postseason and what the Rockets do if they continue this another year next year, those 5 guys, it'll be one of those 5, and it'll be up for grabs. Like, Steph is the one that I think does get overlooked in this because Steph was the closest to taking it from LeBron that anyone has been in this decade. Like, if they had finished that series when they were up 3-1 and he was unanimous MVP and back-to-back MVP and LeBron didn't have that 3-game stretch at the end of those finals, Steph would have taken it. And then Kevin Durant maybe doesn't go there. Maybe it's just Steph's award moving forward or unofficial title moving forward. But so Giannis is certainly, I think, the best bet, but he's not the only bet. There's 4 other guys that can do it.
I think the person that's not on the radar that no one's talking about because we've forgotten, that's Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis, to me, is a better defensive player than Giannis, a better rim protector, and he is a better offensive player. Imagine if AD goes to Los Angeles with LeBron. Him playing with the best player he's ever played with. You're going to have to put him in the conversation. I know you brought LeBron. To me, that we're missing AD because let's not forget what his game is like. Can shoot the 3, got the mid-range, got a post game, can get out on the break. We know he can defend. He can defend all 5 positions. He's no liability. He's a rim protector. Let's not forget Anthony Davis and his overall talent. I know he demanded a trade, so sometimes, a lot of times, Paul George, you fall out of graces with people. But let's not forget the talent that we saw. And if he is partnered with LeBron James, I believe he's going to be part of that conversation.
And Anthony Davis is in the same weak spot this year that LeBron's in, which is, at least for this season, you're not eligible for this if you can't get your team to the playoffs. And even if before they were resting him and on minutes restriction, the reason he demanded a trade when he did was the team was not positioned to make the playoffs. So to bring it full circle back to Giannis, I think people are, because they're in Milwaukee and people aren't watching, I don't know if people realize what Giannis at age 24 is doing. Like, here's Giannis's age 24 season against somebody else's, and I think it'll surprise you. So Giannis has him clipped in everything. Barely in points, barely in rebounds, by a lot in assists, and barely in field goal percentage. Both age 24 season. Who's the other guy? If we can show it, please. That's Shaq's first year with the Lakers. Giannis, because he's not a center and because he's not a low post guy, we send 13 rebounds a game is insane. To go along with 6 assists a game is almost unheard of. You mentioned that you think Anthony Davis is a better defender than Giannis. That's arguable, but it's not because Giannis isn't a great defender. It's because Anthony Davis at his peak has the argument he's Defensive Player of the Year caliber defender. Right now, Giannis, his only weakness is outside shooting, and it's not preventing him from scoring. And his progression, every year in his career, he's increased points, rebounds, and field goal percentage. Every single year, each of those categories. And so you're seeing him get better, and now you're seeing the team's success.
You mentioned him being in Milwaukee sometimes hides him from others that aren't watching. If you put a guy like Giannis on one of the coasts in L.A. or in New York, how big of a star could he be?
I don't think it's always that way. People always think, well, man, you go to a bigger city. Giannis is not meant for the big city. He's not from the United States. New York, L.A., it don't matter. He wants to be in Milwaukee. I don't think because of his arc and where he came from and because of inability to shoot that he would be any more popular than he is right now. I think that he's been able to develop. LeBron going to the West helped him out. But right now, I believe that it's the right timing. But he wasn't a player Steph was. He wasn't a player Harden was. He wasn't those players. He has developed into the player that he is now. I don't think that it makes that much of a difference, especially with someone who was not born and raised in the United States. Their arc to success is totally different than guys we have seen through the prep ranks, AAU, and then even those who potentially go to college for a year or two.
I don't think it matters where he plays nearly as much as it matters when he plays. And by that I mean what Giannis needs is a deep playoff run. And what Giannis needs is to be center stage national television, only game of the night on for 6 weeks. That's what any of these guys need. That's what any of these guys.
And he needs to be able to put up playoff-type numbers in that. Last year in the playoffs, he wasn't in the conversation of best players in the world because there were parts in the game he disappeared. Now, this year he came back. Man, he increased his jump shot, the range on his jump shot, how he can get to the hole, really worked on his dribbling ability. So now what he can do, but in the playoffs, that's going to be determined Giannis's arc.
Yeah, how many rounds can the Bucks get to? Like, they have to get to at least the Eastern Conference Finals for him to continue this discussion. They make the NBA Finals. I think he's probably the guy people are saying, is he the best player in the world? And if they win the championship and they're going to have the #1 seed in all of basketball, then it won't even be a discussion. People go into next season with people considering him the best player in the league. But no matter what happens, those 5 guys, Chris would include Anthony Davis as 6, are all going to be, it's going to be like the old WWE ladder match where it's whatever, I don't even remember what it's called, where the belt's hanging above the ring, like somebody's going to climb up and grab it.
He is in phenomenal shape. I will just say that.
Oh, Giannis is put on. One of the reasons is rebounding.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gotten so much stronger.
All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.